Panthers are dying at an alarming rate in Florida, and you won't believe what's killing them. We begin with humble request to subscribe to our YouTube channel Save Wildlife and follow us on Facebook and TikTok to support our initiative on wildlife. This story was written by Catherine Donlevy in thehill.com and brought to you by Professor Salim, who is an ecologist. The number of endangered panthers slaughtered in Florida has more than doubled this year, putting it on track to be the bloodiest year for the big cats in a decade. At least 30 panthers were killed so far in 2024, almost all of which died at the hands of drivers. The most recent victim was found dead on the side of the road Friday near Naples in rural Collier County. The 3.5-year-old male showed trauma indicative of a vehicular collision, according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. The tragic death comes just 5 days after a female panther was killed by a car in Lee County. Vehicular collisions are, and have been for years, the leading cause of death for panthers in Florida. The survey shows trains and other predators were also causes of the panthers' deaths, and at least 4 were classified as unknown. The shocking death toll is more than double the 13 dead panthers reported in 2023. The last time Florida reached such a high total was in 2018 and 2017. Both years notched 30 recorded deaths. If the deaths should surpass the 30 deaths, 2024 would be the bloodiest year for panthers since 2014, when at least 42 of the endangered species were found dead. The rising death toll would be debilitating for the species, which is listed as critically endangered in the state. There are only about 200 wild Florida panthers, a subspecies of the mountain lion. The subspecies is so critically endangered that it is vulnerable to just about every major threat, according to the National Wildlife Federation. Habitat loss, vehicular collisions and pollution are major contributors to the animal's struggling population. This week another story was written by Carrie Breen in CBSNews.com. 30 endangered Florida panthers found dead this year, including 5 in past month. A Florida panther was struck and killed by a vehicle on November 22, making it the 30th panther death of the year in the state and marking a grim milestone. The number of Florida panthers that have died more than doubled this year compared with 2023. It's the highest death toll for the critically endangered species since 2018, according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. The vast majority of the panthers have died after being struck by vehicles, including 5 in the past month. One panther was killed earlier this year after being hit by a train. The most recent panther death occurred on November 22, when a 3-year-old panther was struck by a car on SR 29 southbound. The collision took place about 2 miles south of a local gun range, according to Florida officials. At least 239 Florida panthers have died in vehicular collisions in the past 10 years, according to Panther Crossing, an organization dedicated to reducing deaths of the animals due to cars. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has previously issued statements encouraging motorists to slow down in areas in several South Florida counties where panthers are known to be active. There are only between 120 and 230 Florida panthers in the wild, according to the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. 3 newborn cubs were spotted in the Sunshine State earlier this year. The animals were once common in the southeast, but now they mostly live along the Gulf Coast of Florida. CBS News previously reported, the panther population was mostly decimated by hunting, according to the National Wildlife Federation, and remains susceptible to low genetic diversity, illnesses and habitat loss. It is so critically endangered that it is vulnerable to just about every major threat, according to the NWF. Many thanks for subscribing to our YouTube channel and following us on Facebook and TikTok to support our initiatives on wildlife.